Hey, good morning everyone. Rob here from Southwest Florida Television. Happy Friday. TGIF. A nice morning out here. Clear skies. Still got some colors of this morning's sunrise getting picked up out there in the Gulf. See a little bit of that orange out there, pinkish orange. Flat as can be out here. Wow, incredibly flat. Looks like I just about have the place to myself. Good news, no red tide warning. No red tide warning here at Del Norwiggins. Wonderful, wonderful news here. Oh man, the water's definitely clearing up out here. What a big difference. Still there's some dead fish out here in the water, unfortunately. They're gonna be getting washed out here. Those little fish that we saw, they're all washed up on the beach from the red tide. All those little bait fish. You can see the beach is just lined with them. But there's no red tide here right now. Unfortunately, there's thousands of these little dead fish along the beach. So the rangers and the volunteers, they'll pick those up the best they can, but they're also going to get carried out into the Gulf as the tide comes in and goes back out. That's kind of what's happening right now. They're still, you can see them floating around out here in the water. You can see a couple of them. So they're going to get slowly pulled out into the Gulf if the rangers don't get them picked up first. But good news is I've been seeing lots of birds flying by. I just saw a flock of pelicans. They're way out there. Just that little, that's a group of pelicans right there, but I've been seeing lots of birds flying by. Lots of birds. Lots of birds out in the water. So things are starting to turn around here. I think I might have saw a dolphin just now way out there. It might have been some birds. They're way out there. Possibly a couple dolphins way out there. See if we can see them come up out there. They're way out. Having a hard time finding them here. There's 2 or 3 of them. Now I don't see them. There's birds just everywhere. The dolphins, I don't know where they went. They were out there. I saw at least 2 of them, if not 3. See if they pop up here. Still not very much light out here. I don't know where they went. They're getting, see them? There they are. Did you see them? They're staying under for a while there. You should have been able to see them just now. And zoomed in. There they are, the best I can with this iPhone. Oh my gosh, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 of them swimming up the beach there. See if we get another look at them here. There you go. They're definitely out there this morning. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Come on, get down here in the water and focus. The camera's on. Oh, the camera's not focusing here this morning. They're way out there. I mean, they are way out there. See if we spot them pop up again. They'll probably be back. There was one. Well, that's awesome. That is awesome, awesome. You see the dolphins as soon as we get out here. Unfortunately, we're dealing with all these dead fish still on the beach. No red tide, but the remnants of red tide. All these little tiny fish here. All along the beach. What's happening is as the tide comes in and goes back out, it's pulling all these dead little fish out into the water. So they're slowly washing out into the Gulf. Hopefully maybe the rangers and volunteers will be able to get some of them picked up. But the water is definitely looking a lot better, a lot clearer out here, a lot clearer. Absolutely gorgeous. 1,000,000% better than it was a few days ago when I was out here. We're up in area 3 right now. Not seeing any of those crabs out here in the water. Not seeing any of those little crabs. Earlier this week there was lots and lots of blue crabs out here. It is just incredibly, incredibly flat out here in the Gulf this morning. I hope you got to see those dolphins. It was hard. I was having a hard time following them, zooming in. I had the camera zoomed in as much as I could, and they were way out in the Gulf. Not way out, but they're pretty far offshore. I think you got a couple shots of them there. It's always great to start the morning by seeing some dolphins. Love it. And they're still making their way up the beach. I can see them way off in the distance, way, way out there. But I think there was 4 or 5 of them, little pod. That was so cool. I don't see our great blue heron friends up here. Sun's still not quite up over the trees. It's just coming up over here to the east. Right, the sun's gonna be coming up right over in there. Not hearing any of our osprey friends either, but I see one. I didn't hear him, but I see him sitting right up there. See him right up there. The tip of that branch, looking out in the water. The tide's coming in now. So he is actually, that osprey right there is actually sitting right about at the water line there. He's just sitting up there, perched up there on the end of that branch, waiting for a fish to come by here. Good morning. I'm gonna walk under him, get to the other side, and see if I can give you a look at him. See if he'll cooperate, or if he's gonna take off on me. See if the camera will cooperate this morning. There he is. There's an osprey sitting up there. He's just patiently staring down at the water, waiting for a fish to go by. A great look at Mr. Osprey there. Absolutely gorgeous birds, the osprey. Still pretty dark here. I might be able to get you in a little tighter. Whoops, I hate when I do that. Now I can't get the camera to zoom. There it goes. That's a small one. That is not a very big osprey. At least it doesn't look very big to me. Does not look that big. Just sitting up there very, very patiently. Just staring down at the water. Beautiful, beautiful birds. Well, let's keep walking up the beach. See what we find. Can't wait for the sun to pop out here so we can get a good look at the water. It's just incredible though, the amount of little fish here on the beach. Just piles and piles and piles of them. All dead because of the red tide. Fortunately, the red tide isn't around right now. There are no red tide warnings here at Del Nor-Wiggins. The red tide has moved offshore. But we're still dealing with the remnants of red tide. Not seeing anything swimming around in the water yet, other than the dolphins. All right, well, we're up in the north end of Area 3 right now. Everybody that's wondering about our friend Roy, he's doing good. Roy is still at home recovering. Got another doctor's appointment coming up, so we'll find out if there's any changes, and I'll let you know. Gonna try to get over there to visit with him today. We'll see. I'll get over there. If not today, tomorrow. Boy, lots and lots of pelicans up here ahead of me flying around. It's probably probably a couple dozen, close to it. Let's see if they come by me here. I don't know if you can see them out there. See them? It's all pelicans. Circling, they're turning back now. Look at them all. Wow. How cool is that? They kind of split off into two groups. They're having a ball. There's something up. There's a big school of fish up to the north of me. I see the pelicans diving into the water up there. Oh, this is so sad, seeing all these dead crabs on the beach. Still seeing dead blue crabs on the beach from that last round of red tide. Thankfully, the red tide's clearing up. But look at all these little fish. Ugh. And there's just thousands of them on the beach. Thousands of them. There's plenty more, though, where they came from, so there's not going to be any shortage on food for the birds here. Just a mess. A mess to clean up here. Unfortunately, all these little fish are going to be washing out into the Gulf here as the tide changes. The tide's on its way in right now. Boy, lots of birds out here this morning. Lots of birds flying around out in the Gulf. Big flocks of them flying back and forth. It's a great sight. We didn't see any birds for about a week. They just all disappear when we get the red tide. Now it looks like they're starting to come back. So the big question, I guess, is when's the red tide gonna be back? How long are we gonna go this time without red tide before it comes back? It's crazy. Boy, the pelicans are just piled up on that sandbar, on that little spit of beach way up there. I wonder what happened to our great blue herons. I was getting so used to seeing them out here in the morning, now all of a sudden they've disappeared. This is where we usually see them hanging out, right around in here. Trying to keep my eyes open for some shells here, something neat. Some neat shells to pick up here. I hate going home with empty pockets. Hopefully we'll find a couple interesting seashells. I guess that's all I had to do was say that. There's a little worm shell. Nice little worm shell. And right next to it, beautiful pear whelk. Look at that. Nice big pear whelk. I hear an osprey calling in the distance. Look at that pear whelk. Nice little shell. A pear whelk. Kind of resembles a lightning whelk. It's a lot smoother than a lightning whelk. And the opening is on the opposite side. That's almost a perfect one. It's got a couple little chips, but definitely a keeper. Nice pear whelk. Listen to all the birds. That's an osprey calling out. We're in this big pine tree. Well, there's one going right overhead here. Pine tree's got an osprey in it. I don't see it. Looks like a little flounder fish down here. I hope it's alive. We saw a lot of dead flounder fish out on the beach. I hope this one's alive. Yep, see how it buries itself in the sand? Surprised it didn't scoot away real fast. That's a little flounder fish, little baby flounder. Well, any more shells here? I'd like to find another nice shell now that I found that big pear whelk. Man, now I'm getting greedy. Right now the water's up over the first little ridge line of shells here. So we got the shells up at the normal high tide. And the ones down at the ridge line at the low tide, which are in the water right now. Little cockle. Little cockle shell. We always see lots of cockles on the beach. These are little baby cockle shells. These two little baby cockle shells. Beautiful. Beautiful shells, all kinds of different patterns. Absolutely gorgeous. Little slipper shell over here. Just a little slipper shell. Flip it over. That's why it gets its name, the slipper shell. Looks like a little slipper. Still, all the little fish up here on the beach. The good news is there's no red tide warning in effect here. Although we're still seeing the effects of the red tide, the recent red tide. There's no longer a red tide warning in effect at Del Norwegians. How long is that going to last? I have no idea. There's a little piece of worm rock down here. Neat little piece of worm rock. That's always fun to pick up and look at, the worm rock. Oh, sad. My favorite little crab, the little leopard crab. The dead little leopard crab. I hate seeing that on the beach. They're such beautiful crabs. They're also called a calico. Calico or leopard crab. So sad. Lots of dead crabs on the beach. Got an osprey sitting up in the top of this tree here. See if you can see him. It's about almost up to the top. You see him sitting in there? Beautiful birds, those osprey. That's the second one we saw this morning. He's sitting right up in there. Right up there is where he was at. Beautiful birds. Beautiful birds. Quite a few birds up here on the point here, up here in area 4. I'll walk by there and give you a look at them. So nice to see the birds back. We haven't seen really a lot of birds here for a week or so. Oh, I see one of the great blue herons up here too. Awesome. So they didn't leave us. I thought the red tide might have run them away. Oh, they just all took off. They just all took flight. Maybe they'll come back here. Maybe they'll come back and land. Let's see. Wow, what a picture, huh? Look at that. Wow. That was amazing. Amazing, absolutely amazing. There's that great blue right in the center of the screen, the great blue heron. I wonder what made him take off like that. Absolutely gorgeous. You see some pelicans out there in the background in the water. Wonder what kinds of birds we have over here. That was an amazing sight, seeing them all flying, wasn't it? Wow. Gotta mark that time, check that time there. That was cool. A great blue heron over there. You get a little closer. Can only do so much with the old iPhone. I want to check out all the birds. I'm also trying to keep my eyes open for some neat shells as I'm walking along here. But the birds, I'd rather see the birds than the shells this morning. It's been a while since we saw all these beautiful birds out here. Let's see if I can get you a closer look. Pretty much first thing off the bat this morning, we saw some dolphins. We got a couple peeks at them. There's probably 4 or 5 of them in a little pod swimming north. They're kind of far offshore. I did the best I could though to get you a look at them. There's the most birds we've seen in a while here. For those that have been following, for those of you that have been following along, you know we've been dealing with the red tide. This morning there was no warning in effect. There's that great blue heron over there. Right in the middle there is the blue heron, the great blue. These look like terns, little snowy egrets, seagulls. These are little snowy egrets over in here in the little pool there. The great blue heron right here. Little snowies. All terns back in here. Some pelicans off in the distance there out in the water. Over in here, these are all gulls. I'm waiting for them to take off. Every 5 or so minutes, 10 minutes, they all just take off, circle around and come back. Kind of walk out into the water. such a welcome sight, all these birds. And that great blue heron just poised there by what's left of that little tidal pool. Lots and lots of terns out here. Gulls and terns. Let's see if I can zoom out and zoom back in. Bear with me here. Beautiful. So fly back in here. Seen a lot of conch shells on the beach. A lot of fighting conchs. Quite a few fighting conchs on the beach this morning. The really big news is the birds. The birds returning. That is the good news. Look at them all. I gotta take a photo, bear with me. Sorry, I got lost here. Just absolutely beautiful out here. Oh my goodness, look at that. They're gonna just go out and circle around and come right back. Wow. Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely mind-blowing. What a beautiful, beautiful sight. Some beautiful shells down here too. Look at that blue heron, just poised over there. Hoping he sees a little fish trapped in that little pond there, that little tidal pool. It's gorgeous out here, incredible. Look at this beautiful fighting conch shell down here. Look at the back of that. Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely incredible. You can see the water looks a lot better than it did. Finally starting to clear up here. No red tide warning. Can't stress that enough. Beautiful, all these birds here. This beautiful great blue heron. Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. We did see 2 dolphins earlier, or 4 or 5 dolphins actually earlier this morning when we first came out. That was great news. But the big news here is all the birds. All the birds. We haven't seen birds out here like this for a while. Look at them all. Everything, gulls, sandpipers, terns, pelicans. Look at them all. It's good news when you see the birds, folks. It means there's fish returning. What a great sight. Oh, sorry about that. What a gorgeous morning. There's our great blue heron, one of our great blue herons. We've seen 3 of them here. There's one of them. It's a beautiful great blue heron. Be fun to see a dolphin swim by back there. Huh? Wonder what caused that. Huh. Where he took off down the beach. At least we got a nice little look at him this morning. Very, very cool. Awesome seeing all these birds once again. Let's walk up the beach and see if we see any more shells. We'll come check in on the birds on the way back here. Again, up in area 4 now, under Roy's pine trees. We did see a couple ospreys this morning. That was fun. And we did get to see our great blue heron. That was great. No pun intended. Unfortunately, we are seeing the remnants, the effects of red tide out here. Lots of dead little fish on the beach. I don't see any along here. Down to the south when we were walking along the beach was kind of lined with little dead fish. Not so bad up here. You can still see them down here. There's a little pile of them down here. But the red tide has moved offshore, but unfortunately, we still are dealing with the mess it caused. Dead crabs, dead fish. I'm just amazed at how calm that water is. Look how flat that gulf is. Absolutely amazing. And all those birds, that's amazing. That is just incredible. Love seeing all those birds out there this morning. That is a real treat. A happy surprise. A happy surprise to see the birds coming back. I was hoping to find some nice shells. I found one. I found a nice little pear whelk. Nice little pear whelk earlier this morning. That's about the only thing I picked up and stuck in my pocket was this little pear whelk. That was my find. My find so far this morning. Maybe we'll find something on the way back. Gotta be optimistic. Seen a lot of dead crabs on the beach. They're all picked apart by the birds, and boy, there's a nice little slipper shell. Not so little. Look at that. Well, that's a nice slipper shell there. That's a good sized slipper shell. Flip it over. See how it looks like a little slipper? Looks like a piece of a Nautica shell over here, darn it. That would have been a beauty. Just a piece of one. That would have been a gorgeous shell right there. Look at the colors on that. That would have been a beauty. Just gonna go up here to where the beach narrows. Lots of neat sights out here this morning. Despite all the dead little critters on the beach. So sad. See, lots of dead crabs. Dead crabs everywhere. Dead crabs, dead little fish. Hopefully, we won't be seeing that much longer. Hopefully they'll be picked up or they'll be carried out into the Gulf. There's a gorgeous little scallop right there. Gorgeous little scallop shell. It's so sad seeing all these little baby crabs. Look at all those little babies that died. Never stood a chance. They're all over. The beach is just littered with these little babies. Little tiny tulip shell, piece of a tulip shell. We started down at the north end of Area 2 this morning. Now we're up at the north end of Area 4. We did see dolphins almost as soon as we came out to the beach this morning. Saw a pod of them. They were pretty far offshore. I do believe I got some video of them though. They're pretty far offshore this morning. I'm sure we got a look at them though. Don't see any out there now, but look at that water. Just incredible. So flat. Flat and blue. You can see it's starting to clear up also. Finally. How long is it going to last? Nobody knows. Beautiful clear blue sky. Just a little further up the beach here, then we'll turn around and walk back down. We'll go by all the birds again. That's just amazing that the birds have returned. It's always a wonderful sight. Always good news when the birds return after a red tide. When we see the birds, that means there's fish out there. There's something for them to feed on. There's the top of a conch shell down here. That's kind of cool. Just the very top of a fighting conch shell. Ooh, there's a big murex shell. See what kind of condition that's in. Not a big one, but that's a good one. An apple murex. That's a nice little apple murex shell. Definitely a keeper. An apple murex. Definitely a keeper there. Scallop shell. The tide's just starting to roll back in here. It's going to be covering up all these shells before you know it. Very quiet and peaceful out here again. I love it. Love coming out here early in the morning, having the place almost to myself. What's nice about the early mornings is usually the other people here at the beach, they're all true beach lovers. They like getting out here early before the crowds. You just never know what you're going to see when you come out here early in the morning. It definitely pays off. Well, no beach left up here to walk on this morning. The tide is too high. Here comes some pelicans flying by. They're always fun to watch, the pelicans. Just amazing, all the birds. We're gonna go back and check out all those birds again on that sandbar there. It's really not a sandbar anymore now. It's pretty much, it's not under the water anymore. It's pretty much turned into a beach up there in Area 4. It's high and dry the majority of the time now. Well, time to turn around. Let's walk back down and see what we missed. See if anything new rolled up on the beach. You just never know what the tide's going to bring. I think the big news, well, besides no red tide warning today, the big news is all these birds up here. We're definitely going to go check them out again. We did see our big great blue heron this morning. We got a good look at him this morning before he took off. Wow, here's what's left of a big, nice scallop shell. What's left of one. Oh, that's a beauty there. Was a beauty. So peaceful just listening to the waves. What little waves there are. Another piece, here's a piece of worm rock. I showed you a piece of worm rock earlier this morning. This one kind of formed around an old oyster shell. Hey, if you enjoy these beach walks and you'd like to maybe help me out with a little contribution or donation, that'd be awesome. It's not required. It's just if you're feeling generous, I always appreciate it. Helps pay the phone bill. I don't get paid to come out here and do this. Southwest Florida Television is not a big TV station paying me to come out here and do this. It's just the name of my Facebook page. If you do want to send something, you can find my PayPal account info in the description of this post. At the conclusion of this live feed, it's so sad seeing all the little crabs down here, all the dead little crabs. These are all little babies that never made it. All little babies. They're all over the beach. So sad seeing the remnants of that nasty old red tide here. Thank goodness it has moved offshore. Hopefully it will just dissipate and break up and not wreak havoc on anything else out there in the water. As you can see, the water is definitely starting to clear up. Not its clear, pristine self it should be, but it's definitely starting to clear. Not that ugly reddish brown color it was just a few days ago. Here we come. We're coming up to all the birds. We got some really good looks at them earlier in our beach walk, so you definitely want to check out the replay. Some really beautiful views of them flying, taking flight, and landing. Absolutely beautiful. So many of them. So many of them. Look at all these fish. Look at all these little dead fish here. Just piles of them on the beach. Piles of them. Just getting pulled back out into the Gulf. They're everywhere. The little fish and the crabs. Beautiful blue crabs dead on the beach. All victims of the red tide. I hate seeing that stuff. So sad seeing our beautiful beaches like that and just feeling so helpless. Look at all those birds. Look at that water out there. Isn't that beautiful? They're going to take off. Here they go. Wow. Now they're going to circle around and they just come back. Just amazing. Isn't it beautiful? What a beautiful sight in the morning. Look at them all. Wow. They're just gorgeous. Of course, all these birds, that's good news, seeing the birds. That means there's fish out here for them to eat. So many different kinds. The white ones here in front of me, they're terns. There's gulls behind them. And there's little sandpipers up the beach. All those little smaller birds, those are sandpipers. There's just so many of them here. Trying to walk slow and not startle them. Wow. What a beautiful sight. That's something. Wow. I'm gonna take a quick photo. Don't go anywhere. Hang tight. Oh, I got lost here taking pictures again. Sorry. So lots of good news this morning. Lots of good news. The red tide has moved away from Del Norwegans. No red tide warning in effect this morning. And all of the beautiful birds are returning to the beach. All awesome news. All wonderful news. Unfortunately, we still have a lot of dead fish on the beach. Dead fish and dead crabs. Right over here. That's a dead puffer fish over there. Well, it's just wonderful news that the birds have returned. Our beach is once again going to the birds. Wow. Look at this helicopter. I don't know if you're going to see it over here. He's below the trees. He's below the trees. You can't even see it. There's actually a helicopter flying there below the treetops, spraying. Nope. Didn't spraying for mosquitoes. Whoa. Absolutely incredible. Yeah, I can't get a shot of them, darn it. See if we see, just keep watching. Oh, darn it. Darn it. All right. See if we get a shot of him over here as he turns around. It's amazing. Yeah, he's going up to the north now. Darn it. See if he turns around. I mean, this helicopter's below these trees here. Spraying for mosquitoes. I don't know if he's going to turn around and come back. Look at that. See how beautiful it is out here this morning. Absolutely gorgeous. All the little sandpipers over here. It's so fun watching them walk along. They just walk in a big group. It looks like a big carpet of little birds moving across the beach. Watch them. All these little birds up here in front of me. There they go. So cute. So beautiful out here. The sights and the sounds this morning. We did see some dolphins almost first thing this morning. Saw a pod of 4 or 5 of them. They were kind of far out. I did get a couple shots of them. We did get a glimpse of them out there. Absolutely beautiful, all these birds. I'm going to attempt to record a video of these without losing my Facebook connection here. So bear with me while I do that here. I'm just gonna walk along and try to get a video of these guys. I don't know if I can do a video and still keep the live feed going, but I'm gonna try. I'll be right back. Stay tuned. Is our live feed still up? It is still up. Awesome, awesome. Well, time to head back down the beach. It's fun looking at all these birds, that's for sure. Absolutely beautiful looking at all of them. They took up a lot of our beach walk this morning. And I'm just so excited to see them all here. It's absolutely wonderful. Well, I hope you're enjoying our beach walk this morning. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. Just mesmerized by all these birds that have returned to the beach. Mesmerized by them. It is so nice after not seeing anything out here, seeing these beautiful birds. Oh, look at this. Another beautiful little apple murex. That's a beautiful apple murex shell. Just laying up here on the beach, another 5 minutes and it would have been washed back into the Gulf. Absolutely beautiful. A beautiful little apple murex shell. That's a beauty right there. Maybe we'll find something else on the way back here to our starting point. We started at the north end of Area 2 this morning. For those of you just tuning in, the red tide warning has been lifted here at Del Nor-Wiggins. It has been lifted. We're really having fun watching the birds out here this morning. Birds are starting to return. We saw dolphins earlier. Look at this. Here's a big piece of a big shark eye shell on the beach. That's the eye right there. That's why they call it a shark eye. Also call it a moon shell. This is just a piece of one, but that's a good look at the eye of a shark eye, or also called a moon shell. We find quite a few of these on the beach. Who knows, we might find one still this morning. Unfortunately, we're still seeing the effects of red tide out here, the remaining effects. We're seeing dead fish and crabs on the beach. Some dead fish in the water. They're being pulled out by the tide, being pulled out into the water by the tide. Hopefully it'll get cleaned up here pretty soon. And how long is the red tide going to be gone? That's the big question, the million-dollar question. How long before it's back again? You can see the water slowly starting to clear. By no means is it clear or pristine yet, but it is starting to clear. I do see some little tiny, when I say tiny, I mean little tiny fish swimming around. But that's good. That's what our birds need to eat. All our little wading birds along the shore is those little tiny fish. So it's a good sign that they're coming back. I see quite a few of them now that the sun's up. I couldn't see them earlier this morning. Here's a nice little scallop. Beautiful little scallop shell. Got lots of scallops. They are absolutely gorgeous, the scallop shells. Especially when you find some really big ones. Some of them are almost like a day glow orange, a bright, bright orange. Those are absolutely beautiful. I haven't found one of those in a while. Earlier this morning I did pick up a nice little pear whelk. A nice little pear whelk, not to be confused with the lightning whelk. The pear whelk's a lot smoother. Has the opening on the opposite side of a lightning whelk. That's a pear whelk. It's a pretty nice one that I found this morning. Roy is at home doing well, recovering. Nothing really new to say about it. He's on the mend. Everything's going well. He appreciates those cards. If you want to send him some cards, please keep them coming. I'm going to try to get by there and have a little visit with him either today or tomorrow. As most of you know, nobody pays me to come out and do these beach walks. And if you're feeling kind and you want to make a little donation, that would be awesome. You can find my PayPal account info in the description of this post. You know, it's not, expected, but it's always nice to get a little something now and then, you know. It helps pay the phone bill, and I really, really appreciate it. Thank you to those of you that have sent something. Ooh, it looks like an old lightning whelk down here amidst all the dead little fish. Yeah, that's an old lightning whelk. It's completely lost its color, completely faded out. A really old lightning whelk. Seen a lot of little fighting conchs on the beach this morning. Here's another one down here. A little fighting conch. Here's what's left of a calico crab or a leopard crab, the shell of a little leopard crab. So sad. These are such beautiful little crabs. Such beautiful little crabs. I'd take that, but it would stink up my car. They're beautiful shells. Beautiful shells. You can see the waves starting to come up here along where all the shells are here. Starting to pull them back into the water. There's a beautiful little baby fighting conch. Nice one there. Nice little specimen of a baby fighting conch. No moon shells. Just hoping to find one little moon shell here before I ended my beach walk. Hey, the other day I posted a link to the North Naples Sharks GoFundMe page. If you can help those guys out, please, please do. They did an absolutely tremendous job of cleaning up our friend Roy's yard. They volunteered their time. The coach, Derek Jenks, has a lawn maintenance, landscaping, and outdoor, well, I don't know. I saw outdoor kitchens as one of the things he sells there, outdoor kitchens. But his company is Outdoor Solutions. And he brought all of his equipment. He brought the kids from his football team, the North Naples Sharks, their junior football team. And they did a number on our friend Roy's yard. They cleaned it up. I mean, they went through there like a white tornado. They did a really good job. But if you can help them out by making a little donation to that team on their GoFundMe page, that would be awesome. They need money to travel to their away games. You can actually, there's a link there in that post where you can hear David. There was a lot of wind noise, but David kind of tells us a little bit about the team and what they need the money for. Please help them out if you can. The North Naples Sharks on GoFundMe. Not only did David donate his time and equipment and brought the kids to clean Roy's yard up, he's going to keep it clean. He's volunteered, he's offered to maintain it on a regular basis for free. What a man. What a man. Another one, a dead little leopard crab on the beach. It kills me to see these little leopard crabs. They're my favorite little crabs. I hate seeing them dead on the beach. The little calico crabs. This red tide took its toll on everything, unfortunately. So many beautiful things dead here on the beach. But the good news is, no more red tide warning in effect here. The red tide warning has been lifted for now with Del Norwegians. So there are still dead fish floating in the water, but that's because it's all these little fish on the beach. They're getting pulled out as the tide's coming in now. It's pulling these little fish out into the water. So they're going to be out there floating around. Hopefully nothing's going to eat them. That would not be a good idea. We had an absolutely gorgeous morning though. Just clear blue skies. One little dolphin sighting first thing this morning. Saw a couple ospreys. I hear an osprey right now. I hear one chirping again in the tree. Sounds like he's right up here. Yeah, nope. He's further down. Hear him? That's an osprey. Always got to remember to check these trees. That's where you might find some beautiful little birds. I saw something come out of the water out there. Nope. Thought I might have saw a dolphin breach out there. Nope. Sure is beautiful though, isn't it? Sure is beautiful looking out there. Thankfully, the water is starting to clear up a little bit here. By no means is it, am I going to say it's beautiful. but it is starting to clear up. I don't think I'd want to go swimming though. A lot of dead critters out there on the bottom. Dead fish floating in the water, dead crabs, dead fish on the bottom. It's going to be a long time before our water gets back to its beautiful self. But at least it's going to clear up and it'll be nice to look at. Maybe in another couple months it'll be clear and you can go for a swim. We saw quite a few pelicans this morning too. That was a good sign. Where there's pelicans, there's fish. And see all these little white specks in the water? That's all these little dead fish. See, the tide's just slowly pulling them out. Pulling them back out into the water. So it's gonna be a mess here. It's gonna be a mess as all these little fish get washed off the beach. You can see them all floating down there. Crabs, fish, everything that was dead on the beach. What a shame. Big blue crabs. Saw lots of blue crabs, dead blue crabs on the beach. Lots of them. Lots and lots. Not really many people here. I don't blame them. Not a very pleasant sight. However, it's beautiful weather. I know a lot of people pay a lot of money to come here and stay for a week or two, and it's a shame that they have to deal with this red tide. Although I'll say it again, the red tide warning has been lifted at Del Norwiggins Pass State Park. Now, how long is that going to last? I have no idea. That just means the red tide is not present here at Del Norwiggins. Is it elsewhere in Collier County in Southwest Florida? Probably. Can it come back? Yes, it can come back at any time. When? Only God knows that answer. Now this is where we started, Area 2. The north end of Area 2 Beach. I'll give you one more look around here before signing off. Just looking down to the south. Absolutely incredible blue sky and calm water out there. Hey, be sure to tell your friends about Southwest Florida Television. Please take the time to check out all of my photos and videos. I'm sure you're gonna find something you like here. When you do, not only like it, be sure to share it. Gorgeous colors, huh? Absolutely gorgeous. The greens and the blues. That's what Southwest Florida is all about right there. Look at that. What beautiful colors. Hey, be sure to like and follow Southwest Florida Television. Do both of them. If you want to make a little contribution, thank you. It always helps. If you don't, just enjoy my videos. That's what it's all about. Hassle-free. Our little beach community here. Hey, have a great, wonderful, super duper Friday. For Southwest Florida Television, I'm Rob Stan. God bless.